PMP exam questions can feel like these super complex puzzles, right? But today, we're going to crack one wide open. We'll break it down piece by piece, and you'll see exactly how to sniff out the right answer every single time. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so here's the big one. This is our case file for today. Take a second and read this through. So picture this. You're already working with a seller and you're reviewing their performance, looking at quality, schedule, costs, all against the contract you already signed. So, which of these 4 things is the best description for what you're doing? Go on, take a shot. Got an answer in your head? Perfect. Okay, let's start digging and see if you nailed it.
All right, so any good detective knows you can't just jump to conclusions, right? You've got to gather your evidence, analyze it step by step, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. So let's crack open this case file.
First things first, we need to play detective and look for clues hidden right inside the question. I'm telling you, this scenario is packed with key words that basically scream the right answer at you. We just have to find them. Let's pull them out one by one.
Okay, clue number 1, and this is a biggie, reviewing the seller's performance. That word reviewing is everything. It tells us we're already in the middle of something with a seller we've already hired. This means we're not planning, we're not picking someone, we're actively managing a contract that's already in motion. That's a huge piece of the puzzle.
All right, now check this out, because the next clue is really interesting. It says we're looking at quality or availability concerns. See, this isn't just about the numbers, right? It's not just about cost and schedule. It's way broader than that. We're asking, is the work any good? Can they actually deliver what they said they would? This tells us we're doing a really comprehensive evaluation.
And this last clue, man, this just ties it all together. Everything, and I mean everything, is being compared to the contractual agreement. The key takeaway here, the contract is already signed, it's done, it's active. Our job now is to make sure they're actually doing what the contract says. And believe me, this one little clue is going to help us knock out a few of our suspects right away.
Okay, we've got our evidence bag full of clues. Now it's time to bring in the suspects. Seriously, think of these 4 options like suspects in a police lineup. We're going to hold up our evidence against each one and see who cracks.
All right, first up in the lineup, we have option A, Plan Procurement Management. So what is this really? Well, the official definition says this is all about documenting your decisions, figuring out how you're going to buy stuff, and identifying potential sellers.
You see the problem right away, don't you? It's a total mismatch. Our scenario is about a seller we already have. This process is about what you do before you even know who you're going to hire. This is way back at the beginning, when you're asking, should we build this ourselves or buy it? It's long before any contract gets signed.
So, the verdict's in. Option A, you are not the one. Incorrect. This happens way too early in the timeline. Let's move on to the next suspect.
Okay, next in the lineup, option B, conduct procurements. So this process, this is the action phase of getting a seller. It's about getting their proposals, checking them out, picking the winner, and then boom, awarding the contract. It's the big moment where you sign on the dotted line.
So let's hold up our evidence again. Remember, our case is all about checking progress after the contract is signed. But conduct procurements, that process ends the moment the contract is awarded. It's the finish line for picking someone, not the starting line for managing them. And based on that, yeah, option B is also incorrect. Busted. What we're doing in our scenario can only happen after this whole process is finished. So 2 down, 2 to go.
All right, now this next one, this is a tricky one. Option C, performance measurements. I mean, it sounds really close, right? But you got to look at the fine print. The definition is super specific. It's about measuring the magnitude of variation. Think hard numbers, like your cost variance or your schedule variance. It's all about the math.
And that, right there, is the key difference. Our scenario is a big, broad review. It includes stuff you can't easily put a number on, like quality and availability. So get this, performance measurements are a tool you would use during the activity we're talking about, but they aren't the activity itself. It's a part, not the whole.
So yeah, it's a super tempting answer, but it's wrong. It's just too narrow. What's happening in our scenario is the whole shebang. The measurements are just one piece of data we'd look at. That is a classic exam trap question, and we just dodged it. Nice.
Okay, we've gone through the lineup. We've eliminated A, B, and C. By process of elimination, we know what's coming. So let's just make it official and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt why the last one standing is our culprit.
And there it is. The correct answer is D, performance reviews. Now let's lock this case down and see exactly why it's a perfect match for all our clues.
Look at how this all lines up. It's just perfect. Reviewing seller performance. Well, that is literally the definition of a performance review. Looking at quality and availability. Yep, that's a key part of any good review. And assessing schedule and cost alignment against the contract, that's the whole point. It's this big, structured evaluation that wraps up all our clues into one single process. Case closed.
So we did it, we cracked the code on this one, but I want to make sure this really sticks in your brain for exam day. So let's boil it all down to a super simple, powerful cheat sheet. This is the big takeaway.
This right here, this lays it all out beautifully. Just think about the timeline. First, you plan procurement management. That's where you decide if and how you're going to buy something. That happens before you even look for sellers. Then, you conduct procurements. That's when you pick your seller and give them the contract. And finally, once the work starts, that's when you're managing or controlling the procurement. And that's where you use these big, comprehensive performance reviews to make sure the seller is on track. And you use the specific performance measurements as a tool inside those reviews. Seeing it like this, it just clicks, right?
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The absolute key is remembering it all comes down to timing and purpose. So next time you're in a project, just ask yourself this. Are we in the process of choosing a partner, or are we managing a partner we've already chosen? That one simple question will tell you instantly whether you're conducting or controlling. It's that easy. Hey, thanks for cracking this case with me today.